All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. And I'm going to make this lesson short and sweet. All right? Now, this is dealing with a woman, right, that's speaking out of saying, hey, and there's men that have been doing this too, right, of saying they are no longer Hebrew Israelites, okay? Or they'll use titles like this and say, why I am not a Hebrew Israelite, okay? And at the end of the day, look, if your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're an Israelite, whether you accept it or not, okay? You're an Israelite. Now, if you want to denounce your heritage, fine. Just say you want to denounce your heritage of being a Hebrew Israelite, okay? But saying you aren't a Hebrew Israelite just because, you know, you may get false teachings from, you know, people like Vocab Malone and the so-called Christian church, so forth and so on, right? It doesn't stop the fact that if your seed line go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if you are a descendant, right, of Jacob, right, you're an Israelite, no matter what you say. No matter what anyone else says, okay? Because it's all about according to the Holy Scriptures, what the Holy Scriptures say, okay? Now, you know, first and foremost, what makes you a Hebrew Israelite, okay? As I said before, you will have to come through the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? Through your father's side, because if your father's an Israelite, you're an Israelite. Let's get that first. The book of Numbers 1 verse 18, it says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. You see? So your lineage was declared behind your father, okay? Let's go into this word pedigree, okay? In the Hebrew is yalad, okay, or yaled. It says to bring, to bear, bring forth, begot, gender, travail, of childbirth, okay, to beget. Let's see, right, to beget a child, okay, to declare one's pedigree. All right, so as I made this statement, if you come from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then you're an Israelite, okay? And if you come from the seed of, let's say, if you come from the seed of the nation of Edom, right? If your father is an Edomite, you're an Edomite, okay? Your mother can be an Israelite, but guess what? It will still make you an Edomite because what? Your father is the one who carries the lineage. You see? You come through your father's seed, you are what your father is. Plain and simple, all right? Now, let's see. Let's go here. So it says, and you see this a lot, you know, and it says, why I am not a Hebrew Israelite. So let's see, you know, how long is this? Oh, 23 minutes. So I'm not going into it. That's too long for me to waste my time on that. All right. But you have a lot of people that make up all these different excuses and say different things, and you know, because they get taught falsely, and they say, you know, well, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite because of this. Well, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite because of that. You see? Well, then you got to ask yourself this question, okay? Because everyone was given a biblical nationality. All right. Everyone was given a biblical nationality. What is yours? Okay? What is your nationality according to the Bible? Okay? Because the Bible doesn't refer to people as Americans or Englishmen or Frenchmen or Caucasians or Negroes, okay, or African Americans. You see? Indians. It doesn't mention people by those names that Esau has put on people. You see, hey, that's part of the covering cast that is spread over the nations. Let's get that real fast as well. You see? And this is another reason why you don't know, or you may be saying, you're not an Israelite, or why I'm not. You may be saying, well, this is why I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. You see? Because you don't. First of all, you don't know the Bible, and also you have been deceived. You have been deceived, okay, by vain deceit. It's the book of Isaiah 25 verse 7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, in the veil that is spread over all nations. And a part of that is what? People is covered by the deceit. Okay, they're covered. Like I always say, the wool is spread over their eyes, because Esau had deceived these people into thinking that they're of something that they're really not. Okay, a lot of people just say, well, I'm human, right? They'll say things like that. I'm human, we're all one people, I don't have a nationality, right? They pull up all this pseudoscience cards and all these different things, but they have been deceived with vain deceit. All right, but we are destroying the face of the covering cast. All right, we're letting you know, hey, there's no such thing as white people. There's no such thing as black people. There's no such thing as Negroes, and there's no such thing as Americans, so to speak, right? We're taking things back into more true biblical terms. We're letting you know the so-called white people, you're the Edomites, right? You so-called Negroes, you're the true Jews, all right? And a lot of these names, right, is behind proverbs and bywords as well. Let's get that, which is a curse which fell upon who? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay? You Israelites. Deuteronomy 28 verse 37, what does it say? And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations. Where? Just in America? No, among all the nations. Where were the Israelites scattered? Through the four winds, right? Amongst who? All the nations. Whither the Lord shall lead thee. You see? So instead of being called Judites, right? You so-called Negroes being called the Judites because you come from the tribe of Judah, you will be the real Jews according to the Bible. What are you called? Negroes, African Americans, black, colored, Afro-Americans. You see? Jigaboos, niggers, so forth and so on. Right? Hey, instead of being called an Ishkarite, right? What did they call you? Mexicans, wetbacks, Spics. You see? Instead of being called Gadites, okay, or Seminole Indians, right, or Salachya, or Reubenites, Gadites or Reubenites, what do they call you? North American Indians, all right, Seminole Indians, okay, and so forth and so on down to all the tribes. They give us all these different proverbs and bywords, all these different nicknames and made up fucking terms. You see? But truly, we all have a biblical nationality. You see? And the people, and as the three, four few tribes that I named, hey, they're a part of the nation of the nationality of the Israelites. You see? Now, also, I want to touch on this since I made this statement. Let's get this real fast. The book of Psalms 49, verse 11, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. So this is dealing with Esau, Edom. Okay? Now, when they go and rape, rob, plunder, right, kill, and take over a land, what do? They put their name upon that land. Okay? That's why you got, places that they say, well, they went and found, right, and they settled there. No, because people already lived there. They came and dominated. They came and took over, right? And once they took over, they put that stamp of approval of that land being theirs. What do? They put their name upon it. You see, right? America. Who is that named after? Amerigo Vespucci, Edomite, right? Which they say was so-called white, but he's an Edomite Italian, an Edomite, right? Which they use in terms today, they say he's an Italian explorer, but he's an Edomite. His nationality goes back to Esau, Edom. See, he's not Italian, he's an Edomite, you see? And this is a part of destroying the covering cast that's spread over all nations. Because to the world, they say, oh, he's Italian. No, he's an Edomite. You see, he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Let's talk about Scipio Africanus, right? Who is he? He's an Edomite. The what? Conquered the land of Ham, which conquered Africa, man. You see, I believe he did. I believe he, if I'm not mistaken, he defeated Hannibal in the Second Punic War. If I'm not mistaken, second or third, I could be off. Okay, but hey, he conquered that land, and he named it what? Africa. You see, Scipio Africanus. What is he? Right? I believe he was a Roman general at that time or something. Right? But point is, he was an Edomite. Okay, so everyone goes back into a nationality just because. Look, if you're an Israelite, okay, guess what? Well, part of the reason why you don't know you're an Israelite, or you may not accept you're an Israelite, okay? Because one of the other things is you lost your heritage. You see? So you don't know who you are. You see? So then you're going to go by what the oppressor calls you. You see? Whatever he calls you. Okay? So he comes up with these names after which he stole and pillaged. Okay? And he set his name upon it. And then he brought you to that landmass and said, you know what? Okay, you are now this. You are now that. You see? And this is what you go by. Okay? And a part of the reasons why you are acceptable with it and why you go with it, because what? You lost your heritage. You don't know your heritage. You see? So, since you lost it and you don't know it, right? You had the Stockholm Syndrome. You're not willing to accept. You are not willing to accept your true heritage. So go to the book of Jeremiah 17, verse 4. It says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So also a part of losing, that land, right? Which in keeping that land, we had what? A way of life, how we lived in the land, okay? So within losing the land, right? Losing our heritage, losing the customs, we lost everything involved with that, okay? That legacy, as the Elder Yashawamba likes to say. Okay, so our people have discontinued from that. Now even, the Lord is the dry bones is waking up. The Lord is putting his spirit back on his men, right? To teach the word. Okay, this word is going forth and going out. You still got the Israelites that don't want to accept it and acknowledge that, hey, they're the true people of the Lord. Okay? Let's get, matter of fact, let's get this real fast. Let's get this out of the way. Book of Colossians 2, verse 8, it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. You see? So let's go into this word beware in case you don't know. In the Greek is bleepo. It says to see, discern, okay, perceive by the use of the eyes, to see, to look, descry, to perceive by the senses, to discover by use, to know by experience. Let's see, to have the power of understanding, to discern mentally, observe, perceive, discover, understand, consider, contemplate, to look at, to weigh, carefully examine, right? Carefully examine. And what our people don't like doing, they do not like doing any type of research. They don't like examining anything. And they don't like taking any, correction or any information if it's someone of their own that looks like them. You see, a lot of our people have a problem with that too, that they don't want to take, they don't want to hear what their own people got to say, but they rather listen and take it from who? The oppressor. You see? Because now this is not even a physical battle anymore, because it's mental. It's mental. It's a mental battle now. You see? And now Esau, Edom has the stronghold of our people's minds, not their body. Because if you control the mind, you can control the body. You see? And controlling the mind is more powerful than controlling the body, because the body follows what the mind what the mind says do, if you can catch what I'm saying. So if you control a person's mind, right, you control their body. And this is how Esau has it. Okay, so it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. And this is what our people have been spoiled by, right? The different philosophies, like that pseudoscience I was speaking about, and the vain deceit. Okay? This, we're all one race, we're all one people, we all got red blood, this and that. Hey, that's BS, man. Okay? That's BS. They try to say we're all one people. No, man. Okay? There's 18 nations in the Bible, man. Which one are you? You see? And people say, well, is it important to know about the different nations? Yes, it's very important. Okay? Because wouldn't you want to know if you're the chosen people? If you're the people out of the people that's granted salvation? Right? Don't you want to know to see if you're the people that's on the line that's getting destroyed? I would like to know. So yes, that's very important, and many other things, right? Because there's one special people, the Israelites. Hey, we're going to be ruling in the kingdom of heaven. You see? So there's many different things, aspects on why you want to know this information. You see? Just even for the cause of just for the sake of knowing the truth. You see, because people say they want the truth. Well, here is the truth. Okay? So, I'm kind of all over the place, but it's all through the spirit, man. Because you hear these arguments all the time with our people. Wow, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. Well, what the fuck are you then? What are you? You see? Because you always say this. Wow, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. Well, what are you? What nationality are you? And don't pull up this, I'm black, so now you're a color. You see? And our people really believe that. Well, yeah, I'm black. Wow, because Esau told you you're black? You see? So Esau can control the mind of our people. You see? So let's look at it again. As you see, why I am not Hebrew Israelite. You see? Hey, and guess what? You can say that all you want. Because guess what? At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, if you go back to the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're an Israelite. And there's nothing you can do about it. You see? And it's a shame that our people rather take on the legacy of being, a part of, attached and a part of black, okay, or African American, or Negro, or Hispanic, or Puerto Rican, or Native American, but they don't want to take on their true identity as the chosen people, as the Hebrew Israelites. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But, on the balance of it, I understand it, but it's just be like, it just makes me think, what is wrong with Jake? That's what goes to my mind. Like, Jake, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You see? You have been beat so bad to where you don't want to be the chosen people. Now that we tell you you're of the chosen people, if you're the chosen line, right? The Heavenly Father loves you, right? You don't want that. You don't want to be a part of that. But you want to be a part of black. See, you want to be a part of black culture and Hispanic culture. You see, you people are through, man. You people are you people are through, man. Let's end out with this. Okay, I'm not gonna make this long. Actually, went longer than I wanted it to be. Let's go to the book of Romans. Matter of fact, I didn't want that. Let's go to Malachi 1. Verse 1, it says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, where hast thou loved us? And that's what our people say, right? Well, where has the Lord ever loved us? Why are we going through what we going through? You see, if they loved us, right? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? You see, because you don't know the Bible. You see, the Lord haven't gave you any breath. That's why you don't know. That's why you continue to question the Lord like you're questioning him. You see, but guess what? The men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets are out there to tell you, right? But what does the Lord say? You refuse my counsel. You see, the Lord be trying to be showing mercy. The Lord be trying to counsel our people through the men, the servants, the prophets. But what do our people say? Oh, no, I don't want to hear that. You see? And that's why y'all be lost as hell asking these dumbass questions. You see? It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. You see, so the Lord loves the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay? And you Israelites that are scattered through the four corners, right? The Lord loves us, but he hates Jacob. He hates the Edomites, right? He hates the Edomites, the so-called white race, okay? But some of you, right, that may look of that skin complexion, who really go back to the seed line of Israel, right? Guess what? Salvation is for you too. You see, and vice versa, because you got some of our people that may take on the look and have dark skin, may have woolly hair, right? But guess what? If they see line go back to Esau, Edom, even though they may look the part of Israel, guess what? They getting the same fate as the rest of the heathens, because by blood or by lineage, they're heathens too. They just take on the looks of an Israelite, also called as a tear, as the Bible calls them. A tear, man. You see? So, you know, I mean, that's just my quick take on it through the spirit, you know, dealing with, you know, there's these arguments people like to use and say, why I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. Well, hey, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but you cannot change the fact that if you're an Israelite, you're an Israelite, okay? Whether you want to denounce your heritage or not, right, which is foolish, okay? But at the end of the day, you're an Israelite, okay? You can't change your nationality. You can't change what the Lord made you. See, Esau did all that bullshit, you see? Whereas, I mean, Esau, you know, changed people's names and changed people's backgrounds and things like that, but it still remains the same. I'll say this, he just covered it up, but it never changed according to the Heavenly Father, man. Right? Just this, and I'll say this last thing and close it out. Just as if, right, you have this term people like to throw around, Christian this, Christian that. Anybody can be Christians. Well, wait a minute. The Christians was first called Christians where? In Antioch. What's that? Acts 26. Right? Is that Acts 26 verse 11? Or is that Acts 11 verse 26? Yep. It says, then departed Barnabas to Tarsus to seek for Saul, Israelites. And when he had found him, he brought him up to Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples, what were the disciples? Israelites by nationality. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. You see? So these disciples who were Israelites, they were called what? Christians. Why? Because they were followers of the Messiah. They were followers of the Anointed One. So really, right, and we also go back to knowing this was a mocking term, people would say, hey, those are the followers of Yahushai. Those are the followers of the Anointed. You see? Because that's what Christ goes back to, Christos, right? Those are the followers of the anointed one. You see? So that's why they were being called Christians. You see? And the true followers of the Messiah are Israelites. You see? So we are the true Christians, right? You just can't take that term and apply it to whoever you want. And that's the deception Esau Edom did. He took that term and now it's just used so loosely out the world, right? And people actually believe that they are Christians. But guess what? It doesn't work like that. You see? It doesn't work like that, right? Just the term is Jews. When you hear about Jews, people automatically think that the Jewish people over there in our homeland now are the true Jews. No. You see? They took that name upon themselves when they are not the true Jews. You see? Let's go into this word Christians. Like I said, it says Christianos, Christos. It says Christian, a follower of the Messiah, man. A follower of Yahushua, man. Okay? And the men of the Lord, hey, we follow the Lamb wherever he goeth, man. You see, so we're the true Christians. We're the true Israelites. We're the true Jews. We're the true Israelites of the Bible. You see? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So I'm going to say this again. You can denounce and say you're not an Israelite all you want, but you can't change the fact that if the Lord made you an Israelite, you're an Israelite. If the Lord made you an Edomite, you're an Edomite. If the Lord made you, something of other nation, right? That's what you are, and you can't change it. You see? So it is what it is. So, hey, you Israelites, y'all want to denounce your heritage? Hey, by any means, go ahead. But in the kingdom, right? Once you're born again into the kingdom, you'll be in your right mind. You see? But before that takes place, you will be destroyed here in American Babylon the Great, or wherever you at across this world, denouncing your true heritage, denouncing the beautiful heritage that the Heavenly Father given to you. You see? So hey man, that's just my quick take on it. Lord willing, I hope it was edifying. Until next time, I want to say shalom.